Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Alien Protocols. In the past, we've talked about this really fascinating universe that we live in, that many different philosophers and physicists believe is some sort of interactive universe. And we can see many experiments that indicate this. And we live our lives kind of realizing that what we kind of see and what we put out there in more than just practical ways becomes a reality in kind of other non-physical, mystical kind of ways. So we all have these experiences, and you don't have to be a physicist to know how weird the universe can be and how interactive it can be. And Dr. Simeon Hein and I have been discussing this interactive fractal universe model and how there is this substructure and consciousness can get there. The physical body can't, but consciousness can. And that is the great oneness. And we talked about how Ingo Swann could literally, and you just can't disprove this by so many different, there's so many cases of non-local clairvoyance and precognition and the ability of the human mind, of consciousness, to reach across space and time and physically touch, affect, see things. That means that a part of you is connected there. A part of you is there, a tiny, tiny, itsy bitsy bit. And the rest of your lumpiness is here. And like we've said before, Ingo Swann may be gone. His lump may be gone from this universe. But that just means more of him is everywhere else. And that's the case with everyone we love. When someone passes that we love and it hurts so much and the pain is so tremendous, we think they're gone and they're really, that lump is gone from here, but they're a little bit more now everywhere. And although you can't talk to the lump, you are connected in ways that our minds can't even truly understand. And it makes sense when you look at it, all of the phenomena and all of the weird stuff. It makes sense when you look at it, from above at 2 dimensions, like a tree. If you look at a tree from above, it just looks so weird. You've got branches and fruits and leaves and monkeys, and they all seem separate, and the wind blows them around, and you don't understand it. Then all of a sudden, a bird pops out of nowhere and goes back down, or a squirrel does, and you just don't understand it from 2 dimensions. It all seems separate. Like psi phenomena and ghosts and psychokinesis and ESP and extraterrestrial communications and CE5 experiences and Fatima and the incidents at nuclear sites that repeat again and again at the same locations. They all seem like separate incidents. But if you look in 3D on the side, you'll see that the leaves and the branches of the tree connect in hubs. And they keep connecting as you go down lower and lower. And there's less and less entropy as you go down. That's why there's blue shifting, by the way. And you go down and down and down until ultimately everything is one at the trunk, at this one great central hub. And we believe the universe is like that. This universe is very stable. There has to be other aspects to it that we can't see that help to make it stable, that help connect it perhaps to a lot of other universes. And that's why fractals are very appealing, because we see them throughout this universe in all sorts of scales. So it's a logical assumption to believe that it's pervasive throughout the universe, throughout the multiverse, throughout the hyperverse. In fact, fractals are, a number is a single individual thing. Boom, that's it, it's a number. But a fractal is a growing thing. It is in motion. It is active. It is the formula, and phi and the golden ratio. Those are all formulas for life, growth, active. That's why they're different. That's why they're special. That's why they're beautiful. So it's no wonder that when you look at fractals, they are so appealing and just seem to make sense. Now let's look at fractals for a second here and see if we can learn maybe something else from them. I'm going to share screen with you for a second here. Here we go. And I don't know if you can see my cursor, But like all the way over here to the left, you see there's 5 identical fractals here. They're about basically the same exact shape. They look exactly alike. Exactly. And then on the opposite, on the inverse, you have an inverse bubble, identical fractals of them. And then other locations, you have isolated individual identical ones. And a fractal is very much like that tree we were talking about, where the hubs come together. Here, let's say these two things seem like they're totally separate branches, but if you follow them down, boom, they connect. And you follow them down, boom, they connect. Maybe the universe is like that, but in every direction, every way we can't imagine. And sometimes we can resonate with an identical universe fractal. And resonation is just really being in vibration and making that other one vibrate too. It's a weird thing, but it's how our universe works. I would presume it's in the multiverse as well. So maybe a lot of the things that we don't understand, that seem to have no specifics in physics, like why do our numbers have this range? Why are they this specific way? Why are numbers this? Maybe it's because they're part of a mass of fractals, and that the range is the range of possibilities within that fractal set. So that seems to just be a very logical kind of presumption to me. And there's a lot of things that we can, predictions that this model makes, and we've talked about them. And one of them is if we were in this type of a fractal universe, we would look at the largest scale and the smallest scale, and we would approximate ourselves to be right about in the middle if we were a fractal. And that's what we experience in our universe. So guys, I really think that this interactive universe model, where you can change, affect, resonate with reality, there's fundamental structures you can be in contact with. There's other structures you can be in contact with. There are abilities that you have that are only restricted by your belief. You're not a human being. You're a human creating. You are creating every second. Every thought matters. Don't waste a second on a negative thought. And I know it's difficult because we live in a society that says this is the way things are. But even if secretly you know that you have incredible powers of the mind, use them for good. Think about all the good they can do and do it. In the meantime, I'm working with 3 different groups now on trying to do the math for this stuff, try to flush out this model. And we know there's this substructure, and we have a little bit of advancement on it, actually. I shouldn't even be saying that much, but it doesn't really matter because this is something so important that everyone should know ultimately. Advanced civilizations obviously know about it. So all of us should as well. Well, I love you guys. What do you think of this? Does it make sense to you? I like it. It feels good. It feels right. I'm perfectly willing to find another better one, but this is the one that seems to fit the best right now. And Dr. Hein and I really like it, I think. And it just seems to make sense. Anyway, I love you guys and would love to hear your thoughts below. Much love.